Interesting people enjoy more opportunities, have more friends, and are more attractive to members of the opposite sex. The first step you need to take to be more interesting is to stop being boring. Boring people want to be liked by everybody. They talk mostly about mainstream topics that everybody knows, and they rarely try things outside of their comfort zone. So, how do you actually become more interesting? You're about to find out. Let's start with this saying by Dale Carnegie. To be interesting, be interested. I experimented with this concept when I was in college. Every time that I went out to a party, I always talked to people I didn't know in order to expand my social circle. At first, it was terrifying. Just imagine introducing yourself to a totally new group of people. I thought, what will they say? What will they think? Even though I was very anxious at the beginning, I knew that if I wanted to expand my social circle, I needed to pay the price. So I went for it. I discovered that the best way to make new friends and getting others interested in you is by being honestly interested in getting to know them. I simply asked questions about where they lived, how did they find out about the party, and what did they study. Then I simply listen. Let's say my new friend tells me that he lives in the same neighborhood and that's why he's at the party. After that, I will simply tell something like, "Great, this is a very beautiful neighborhood. How long have you lived here?" Then I will only listen and let him talk. The more questions you ask and the better you listen, the more the other person will want to know about you, and here's where you want to show your authentic personality. You can do this by being brutally honest about who you are and what you like to do. What makes you interesting is what you really like to do. Most people make the mistake of trying to fit everywhere they go, and they play it safe by not sharing what they like and how they see the world. You might think this is the best strategy to get other people to like you, but in reality, it doesn't work. There's no such thing as being liked by everybody, but you can definitely be boring to everybody. Check this video out if you want to be able to make more friends everywhere you go. The best way to be interesting is by polarizing people. This strategy essentially means that by sharing something real and authentic about yourself, you will force the other person to form an opinion about you and decide whether they agree or disagree with you. Imagine that I say that fitness is one of my top priorities. The people that disagree with me will not have any interest in what I have to say about fitness, but the people that agree with me will certainly become very interested in me and what I have to say. The problem with boring people is that they never say anything polarizing, they just agree with everybody. The key to being polarizing is to share things that you care about and that you find real in the world. The idea with polarization is to filter the people who are not authentically interested in you, so you can find people who share with you similar things to maximize the depth and connection of your relationships. Remember, anything that's interesting is polarizing. On the other hand, I strongly believe that it's not enough to share your personality, but you must also share it in a compelling and entertaining way. I think that one of the most important skills you can learn and master in life is storytelling. Storytelling is basically a way of sharing information in such a way that the people that are listening to you will feel identified and emotionally connected to it. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Let's take a look at how the way you share something polarizing can be totally boring or totally alluring. I loved eating tacos. When I was a kid, I went to a local Mexican restaurant with my grandfather every Saturday. This sounds terrible. Now let's use storytelling. When I was a kid, I went to a local Mexican restaurant every Saturday with my grandfather. I loved listening to his stories. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. I guess that's why I love tacos so much. Storytelling makes anything you say more memorable and more relatable to people, which in turn makes them more curious about what you just said. But the thing is that you will not always have a story for everything you want to share. That's why you must always consume new content and try out new experiences. There's a saying I live by that says, ideas in equals ideas out. This basically means that, to be more interesting, you must invest in learning and trying new things that you find intriguing. Because remember, polarizing people is all about sharing what you truly like and value. That's why you have to get involved with what you truly like and value. What do you like to do? Do you like podcasts and documentaries, or do you like movies and series? Remember that the point of being interesting is to connect with people who share similar things with you, so you can have meaningful and good relationships. Many people make the mistake of confusing wanting to be interesting with wanting to be liked by everyone. This simply doesn't exist. Wanting to be liked by everyone is essentially a self-esteem issue. To avoid this, I recommend you watch this video in order to learn how to improve your self-esteem by yourself without needing anyone else. I will see you over there, brother.